everyone! I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and my October sock crate finally arrived. Normally, my knit crate and sock crate end up arriving in 2 packages on the same day, but this month they got split up. I think because the knit crates themselves, since they were a bit heavier with the new Inspirations magazine, had to be separated into different packaging, and so they ended up on slightly different schedules. But either way, even though I now have spoilers, and you guys have had spoilers about a little bit about what's inside here, I am very, very excited to open up my October sock crate from KnitCrate. So Sock Crate is a monthly membership subscription. You get monthly hand-dyed sock yarn from the KnitCrate team, and it's always going to be a fingering weight sock yarn. And in the past, this crate came with 1 knitting pattern, but due to some recent changes, they're now giving all of the subscription boxes all of the patterns that come together in a magazine. So if you get 1, you can get access to all the patterns. And I just think it's really cool because then, because there's the sock crate and then there's the artisan sock crate, you're going to get at least 2 sock knitting patterns. So if you don't love one, you might love the other. And I think that that is just really, really cool. The sock crate is $19.95, and that includes international shipping. So wherever you live, if shipping to you is a possibility, you're going to pay your equivalent conversion of the $19.95 US dollars, which I think is a phenomenal deal. It might take a little longer to, say, get to Australia than it does to get to California, but yeah, that is one of the things. Hi guys, I'm glad you guys can join. The other thing I'll say is that I am a KnitCrate affiliate, and KnitCrate sends these kits to me to open them up, but all of my opinions and everything are my own. There's nothing that they specifically tell me to say beyond just sharing what is inside. What was the other thing I really wanted to say? Oh, if you have not signed up for KnitCrate before and you'd like to, you can use the code ChemKnits20 at checkout to get 20% off your first month. And I've got my affiliate link in the video description and the chat. Actually, now that we've got the holidays coming up, there are actually some options to prepay for 6 or 12 months at a time. So you could gift someone a year of KnitCrate, any one of the packages. And so I think that that is pretty cool. But let's open her up and see what is inside. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo! Ooh! I wasn't expecting the yarn to be on top, and I was like, ooh, is that paper? But it's this, it's like an icy blue with a little hint of yellow. Let's see. Okay, so this yarn is called Vidalana Delight Sock, and the colorway is called Morning. This is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 420 yards to 100 grams. Let's take a closer look at this colorway. What's fun about this is I've actually been working on dyeing pastels myself recently, and so I'm therefore a bit amused by what, oh, I see, this was just cuffed on the whole thing. So it's like a semi-solid, and I would say semi-repeating. It looks like some of the lighter patches mostly are in the same spots all the way through. But the light patches and darker patches are different sizes, so it won't necessarily, it could pool, but it might not. But it is still soft and really, really pretty. And I'm not sure how many plies this is. It's a 3-ply sock yarn, I think. And yeah, and it feels like soft and squishy. And well, the nice thing about a pastel is that if it happens to not be your cup of tea, because the colorway is always a surprise. If it's not one that you love, this would be a really easy one to over dye. But sometimes the sock crate only comes with 1 colorway each month. Sometimes there's a few. in the given like category. And so there's sort of like that element of mystery that like even if you get the spoiler and you see someone open up, you might get a completely different colorway. It'll always be the same yarn base and the same type of colorway, whether it's a semi-solid or a wild variegated or a gradient or something. There's like a theme to the yarn in the package, but it just makes, I don't know, there's an element of surprise, even if you know what's going to be inside. All right, so the other thing in here is the new Inspirations magazine. And in case you haven't seen one of my unboxings before, there's a cute little message at the bottom of the box. What are you doing looking at my bottom? All the good stuff is up there. Not too much. You haven't missed too much. I just unboxed my sock crate, and it's this beautiful blue pastel. It's called Morning, and it's very much like a wispy, cloudy color with the it's not quite a white. It's almost, I guess it's almost like a blush blue, if that makes sense. Powder, it's lighter than powder blue. But it definitely feels like a cloud where you can see the sky through it. And so the other thing that's in here is the new Inspirations magazine. So in the past, when you got your Knit Crate, you would get a knitting pattern and a crochet pattern. And in the sock crate, you would get one sock pattern. In the artisan crate, you would get 2 knitting patterns. And in the artisan sock crate, you'd get 1 knitting pattern. All of those are now in this magazine. So in addition to the codes, so you can import it into your Ravelry, they're all in here too. So you have a hard copy with, written instructions. One of the patterns, because it has a chart and written instruction, has I think I counted 10 pages of instructions. So that made this booklet a little heavy, which is why they had to change up the packaging this month. So I believe that next month they're going to sort of split it in 2. And that you might not get a hard copy for everything, but you're still going to get digital access to all of the patterns that KnitCrate sends out each month, which I think is cool. The other nice thing about the magazine is that there's increased information and like spotlights about the different designers and yarn dyers. And so that's all information that you can see, and you get access to all of the coupon codes that they offer to their Etsy stores or Ravelry stores. Yeah. The sock crates, I believe the sock crates are always fingering weight. They are certainly always sock yarn. And so they say that, if you want, fingering weight yarn is one of my favorite yarn weights anyway. I'm more of a shawl knitter than a sock knitter, but I prefer to use fingering weight. The nice thing that I noticed about the magazine this time is that the artisan crate and the Knit Crate membership both had DK weight yarn this time, which means that then there's 4 patterns that work for both of those 2 crates. And then obviously the sock artisan crate and sock crate both come with sock yarn in them. And so I think it really does increase the value to an individual, because you might like one of the patterns in one of the other kits more, but you don't necessarily want to go and buy it separate. And so I think that it just gives more options to everyone. So the theme for this month is verdigris. And it's the patina of time, faded peeling paint and rubbed down boards, pastel, soft matte finishes, ceramic smoothness, and the play of shadow and light on everyday surfaces. This is the inspiration we draw upon for this month's Knit Crate shipments. Expect tile-inspired stitches and textures and beautiful crafted colorways from our dyers and designers. And so another thing that's new here is that there's like a whole inspiration board where, it might talk about maybe like an artist or something else that is in the color theme that they were drawing from, or that they gave to their dyers to draw from. There's a couple other things in this magazine that I want to talk about. The first, there is a sneak peek, and I know we're backwards because I'm on the front-facing camera, but a sneak peek for the November kit, which looks like it's Enchanted, and it's all of these jewel tones. And I saw this and I was like, those are Rebecca colors if I've ever seen one. These are the colors that, like when I go to a yarn show, those are the kinds that I would be drawn to. Well, specifically, I think I love like these leaves and stuff on the backdrop. And so it's exciting to get a sort of like a hint of what's going to be in the next month's crate. And the other thing that I completely missed next time is there's one other sneak peek that's in this magazine. I know you guys are backwards, but there is going to be a new partner crate. And the slots for this are going to open up on November 1st. But the partner crate is a partnership with Malabrigo Yarns. And so there's going to be a quarterly subscription box that's a partnership between Malabrigo and KnitCrate. And all I know is that this yarn that looks like a purple, a blurple, emerald green, oh, it's like my dream colors right there. If I have no idea if I'm going to be, well, I kind of doubt that I will be sent one to open up and test, but I have a feeling that this will be really, really popular. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to, I don't know too much about it, if it's going to be first dibs at like a new colorway or what, but I think that there is great potential, and that this kit will likely also come with a couple patterns on its own and maybe some fun extras. Both of the artisan crates include like some fun extras, like maybe it could be needles or stitch markers or some kind of notion of some kind for a pattern. So yeah, but it's nice. Like I've enjoyed with this little magazine. Well, actually I've got two of them on hand now. I've enjoyed getting the little sneak peek into some of the crates that I don't always see, and getting to learn about the independent dyers. Because I believe that the artisan crates might be a little more popular and might sell out a bit more, but I've never opened one of those up myself. And so, but I do really enjoy that KnitCrate is a company that they really seem to value the indie fiber artist community, whether it's designers or independent dyers. And I mean, I've never asked, like the scale that an independent dyer would need to do to fulfill things for the KnitCrate is larger than, say, someone like me. But yeah, you know, I think that they could vary from small teams to small companies. And I think that there's something pretty wonderful about that. And yeah, and I know that KnitCrate, they have a website. I think it's called Destachio. And it's sort of like a way to connect with other people. So if you get a colorway you don't like, you might be able to find someone to swap with. But it's sort of like a at your own risk kind of thing, because you're like dealing with another individual. I think it's similar to doing like a destash type thing on Ravelry. But but this is specifically like a site specifically to help facilitate the exchange of like trading yarns and stuff. But yeah, I think that this month was really, really cool. And I really want to, I should show the pattern. Okay, so I believe that this is the sock pattern that is the sock crate. I mean, I think it's all blended now, but this was the technical sock crate pattern. And I love this. I absolutely, absolutely love, love, love this. And the video tomorrow, the Dye Pot Weekly tomorrow is going to be really, really awesome. I'm really excited for you guys to see that one too. But what's funny is like something about it is reminding me of like, I just like the style with like some nice cables going down the side. I feel like that, not like exactly like this, but there's things that would fit in like a collection with this one, that those are like sock patterns that I tend to gravitate towards. So I am very excited about it, and I think it's beautiful. And a semi-solid, whether it's this one is a little more potent or something that is as soft as this blue, would work great with this amount of stitch work. It looks like that the indie yarn might be a little more variegated this time. So the pattern, it's like shorty sock pattern. And I wonder if, it says it uses the whole thing, but I have a feeling you might be able to get, yeah, but it's like a cute, there's like a textured stitch around the cuff that looks interesting and around the toes. It's a little hard to see, but like down there's like an interesting little pattern, and I think that it's cool. I went through the whole magazine a little more in depth when I unboxed my Knit Crate package. And if you want to re-watch that replay, I put a link to it up in the iCard. And then I went in this more in depth. You're working on your first sock design that has zigzag cables. Oh, I love zigzag cables. Oh yeah, I did a beer cozy with a zigzag cable that, maybe that's why I'm like thinking. But anyway, I think that, well, I was happy to get my bright blue box again, because even though it was still really exciting to open the bubble mailer, there's something about seeing seeing the Knit Crate box just on your doorstep, and you get a hint of it and you're like, oh, it's my pretty yarn. And so there's something that's just like really, really exciting about that. I really should, like, at some point, like, lay out a bunch of my Knit Crate yarns from the last few months next to each other. Yes, the complete pattern book is also good for like any other stash bustings. Oh, wait, I lost the comment. Tyra usually knows stuff. The colors are very solid too. Apparently they changed the color style and didn't want to redo the pictures, so they used the old yarn according to the live stream. Okay, I see. Because I was like, oh, that was, yeah, a lot more. I guess that's why I think I might have been a little surprised, because I think I was expecting like a purple like that one. But I think the type of yarn is similar. Actually, the dye job on both of these this time is very, very similar. So this is the Sock Crate yarn, and this is one of the skeins from the Knit Crate membership one, which is sort of like this medium variegated gray, semi-solid. And it doesn't always happen that you get the same type of dye job on both the Sock Crate and the Knit Crate membership. Sometimes, yeah, this might be one of the first times that they are like both pretty similar with that respect. But a lot of times, one might be speckled, one might be a gradient. They really do mix up the type of yarn, which I think is good because different people have different tastes. And so I think that being in a club like this kind of forces you outside your comfort zone a little bit, because when I go to a knitting expo or something, I tend to buy the same things, same kinds of things over and over. But some of these make me think about doing a pattern in a different type of way, or making something a little different for myself, or experimenting with what colors I might wear. And so I think that is really, really fun. But I will say, again, I'm really excited for November. And I am very, very thankful that Knit Crate wants to keep sending me these to unbox for all of you. I know that I have a lot of fun doing it, and I think that this is something that really would make a really great gift for someone for the holidays. And if you prepay for 6 months or 12 months, you do get more of a discount than paying month by month. Oh yes, so in other ChemKnits news, today I shared, I guess, the first official monthly dye-along. I shared a picture, it's on Instagram and Facebook, and it's something that at about approximately the 15th every month, I'm going to share a new inspiration picture, and I will then do a live stream or a pre-filmed episode using that photo as the inspiration, and all of you can dye along as well with whatever inspiration you draw from that photo. And there isn't really a huge deadline or anything. I think that, you could participate, if once we get months into this, you could go back and do old months and still share it. I would just make a comment in your picture or whatever that you were doing an older month. I think that the deadline to be like featured, I might feature some people in when I do the recap for the live stream. Then I might feature some of the other dyers, and so I think that that would depend. I'd wait a bit for like some other people to start finishing up, so I might do that recap towards the end of the month or at the beginning of the next month or something. So there's not really a deadline, but we'll see how this goes and how it evolves. But it's mainly, yeah, just to have fun and I guess, a spirit of community dyeing yarn together. Because I'm curious, and I think it'll be really wonderful to see how from one inspiration photo, you'll get so many different types of yarn. Because someone might decide to look at the picture as a whole and incorporate colors from all over the picture. Someone might try to look at one aspect of the picture and focus on that, whereas someone else might look at the picture and think, ooh, I'm thinking of forests or trees or something, and go and have an inspiration from the photo that is loosely connected. And so I think that it's all about, and the thing I'm most interested in doing this is how you are inspired by the picture and what you take from it. And so I think that we can have fun with that. Ooh-hoo-hoo! But yeah, so there's the long story short, there's not really a deadline. You know, I think just to encourage another way for us to all participate in something together. And so, yeah, I made my final decision on the photo this morning because I had like 5 that I was deciding between, but then I decided to go with one that a picture I took myself because I thought that was a good way to start this off. But I guess actually in thinking about the dye-along and bringing it back to KnitCrate, each month that they have an inspiration, and all of the KnitCrates that month are all focusing on that same theme. So, you know, this month, all of them are focusing on these like pastel and sort of faded colors. And, you know, there are some similarities between these two, but there have been some, you know, there's one month where the theme was indigo. Or maybe it wasn't technically, maybe it was like Indiglo, I don't remember. There was some like riff on indigo. And not everything was blue, not everything was navy, but there were a lot of really deep, saturated colors that month that felt as part of that theme. And so it's fun to see how many different takes you can get on one like word or theme. So that is, yeah, I was like, oh, it ties in very, very nicely with what I'm doing right now. Oh, yeah, I'm like, oh, it's faster when I'm just going through one at a time. But it really is just a pleasure, and I think that to open this up, and I think that this makes a pretty easy gift to give someone because, you know, it's fun, beautiful, hand-dyed yarn every month, and all things considered, it's really, really inexpensive. Like as an indie dyer on Etsy, I cannot match the price on this. $19.95 for all the patterns, for the yarn, and the shipping. It's not something that I could come close to. Now, granted, KnitCrate does source their own bare yarn, so they're not buying the bare yarn. They're getting the bare yarn manufactured themselves. But I think that the KnitCrate membership one is $24.99, and that comes with 200 grams of yarn and also shipped anywhere around the world. And so it's just a really, really, really good deal. Plus the little magazine now. So, and one of the things that I really do like about this as well is that there's always a code. So now they're including paper copies. So if that's like your jam, then you're good to go. But you also can go to the website and import all of these patterns into your Ravelry library. So that way, as they get updated, if there's corrections that need to be made, you have them in your library. And so if you lose this, you could download and print it at another time. And I think that that is really, really great because a lot of times I have had times where I've had a digital copy of something, or no, there was a kit I got once and it was a physical copy of the pattern, which I then lost, and then I couldn't knit the rest of them, and so then I was really sad. The dye-along started today, I guess. I just announced it sometime this morning and shared the picture. So the picture is, it's on Instagram, and so if you want to share something on Instagram, the hashtag is just ChemKnits dye-along. There's a Facebook post, and so you could post in the comments your dyed yarn in the comments of that post, yeah, I mean, you can try posting to the page, but that doesn't really get seen by as many people. But if you want to participate and don't want to be featured, then you can also join the ChemKnits Lab group on Facebook and post there. And I don't, like, as a rule, I will not post anything from within the group outside of the group. So it's like a private community there. But anyway, I will, as I sign off, I will pop the my link into chat one more time. If you are thinking about signing up for KnitCrate, if you use the code ChemKnits20, you can get 20% off. So $19.95 with an additional 20% off. That's about $4 off ish. I can do math. Just not very well in my head. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed seeing what I got inside my sock crate, and I was happy to see the pretty teal box come back. But yeah, I'll probably have, yeah, I'm excited for the November ones. And so those might be both in one night again, but I'm so glad so many of you were able to join me tonight. And again, if you want to make sure not to miss these live streams, make sure you subscribe to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel. And there's a little bell icon. And if you press that, you turn on notifications. And so then I don't think that YouTube still has some algorithm, but they are more likely to notify you when I start a live stream if you've toggled that bell icon. So I recommend that. But I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will chat with you guys soon. Bye, everyone.